Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 108 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that is nothing but prepared for record. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Luvva Luvva, and with me is my co-host.
Good evening, Luvva. How are we doing today? Another week, another side quest.
And it's going smoothly as ever, mate. It's flawless, this record.
Incredible. No problems, no hiccups, no delays, no nothing. It's been seamless. It's like it's just released on a Monday without any hitches whatsoever.
Absolutely none. And speaking of no hitches whatsoever, our guest for this week, which is becoming a High Scores, High Stakes tradition here, it is, of course, AndyGames 94. Andy,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on again. Lads, appreciate that. It's been about 18 months.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it has been.
It's been a while. A lot's changed since then. As you see, I'm now in sync. Rather than last.
Hooray! Yes, technical hitches are gone. Blessed be.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. It's good to be on. Hopefully, I can redeem myself after my last performance on the podcast. So we'll just see how that goes.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if anyone hasn't seen the last episode with AndyGames, it is a speed run challenge in Toy Story 2. Andy, our resident speedrunner, got whipped that episode. I think it's fair to say, Andy, absolutely destroyed.
Well, I can't comment on that, I'm afraid.
Do, but in a PG manner.
No, like I still think it was an injustice. I won't lie to you guys. I still think it was an injustice, but I have come to terms with it. I've moved onto greener pastures, and but I'm still ready to redeem myself because that's out there, and that was my first ever podcast appearance ever. So some 18 months on, a lot's changed. So I definitely think I need to take one back.
Well, who knows? Maybe tonight is the night you can finally let go of your Buzz Lightyear grudge against Tomahawk here.
Never.
I do have a really good game show lined up for you two to compete in tonight. It's incredible. It is the most original game show we've ever created here at High Scores, High Stakes, which is saying something. It is definitely not stolen from a quiz on the radio that I hear every morning on my way to work. It's definitely not that. It's definitely not that. But before we get into Andy's redemption arc, let's get into the housekeeping. If this is your first time to listen to High Scores High Stakes, or the 108th time you've listened to High Scores High Stakes, you need to know who we are and what we do here. What we are is, in season, we are a competitive PlayStation podcast in which me, Tomahawk, and Cardinal Smith compete against one another in a PlayStation gaming league table. Every week we pick a new game and play a challenge in that game. The winner of the challenge gets 3 points, second place gets 2 points, third place gets 1 point. The person who is top of the league after 12 weeks wins the coveted High Scores High Stakes Cup. Tomahawk here is our current champion after cheating me in a rigged social media poll. That's all I'm saying. I won the most challenges last season and still got absolutely mugged off by Tomahawk's mum on 2 different accounts on Instagram. That's all. I'm not bitter about it. Not at all. But if 1 hour ish of High Scores High Stakes isn't enough High Scores High Stakes content to fill your week, then we hunt everywhere on the internet. The easiest way to find us everywhere we are on the internet is go to highscoreshighstakes.com. On top of the homepage, there's lots of links for everywhere you can find us, including Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, the whole heap. It's all there. highscoreshighstakes.com. And with all that being said, if this is the 108th time you've listened to this and you have not yet shared this with a friend or family member, do that now. 80% of you are listening on mobile devices. You have no excuses. I'm not accepting them anymore. Not doing it.
Give them 5 seconds. They can do it now. So we'll just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should have done it by now. That's perfect. Sure. Thank you so much. Yes.
If you haven't, give us a star review or a written review whenever you're listening to us. Please do that as well. And if you're listening or watching on YouTube, leave a wee comment, be wonderful, subscriber as well. But with all that being said, the time has come, Tomahawk's favourite time of the week. It's when I ask the question, what are you playing?
I have been playing Blueprints.
Ooh.
Not a game I thought I'd be falling in love with, but I've fallen in love with this game. It is beautiful. It's a great wee game. If you don't know what the game is, it's what I can only describe as a house building roguelike.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And basically, the character gets told, you have this inheritance. This house has 45 rooms, but you have to find room 46. All the staff in the house are told, this room 46 doesn't exist. What they're talking about, where's this man gone from? He's clearly delusional. He's let this child on a merry chase for a room that does not exist. So you go into the hallway, you pick a door, it drafts 3 random rooms. They could have perks, buffs, debuffs, or a puzzle room, and you have to basically find your way from point A to point B at the very end, but also you have to unlock room 46 and also hope that your deck, your builds actually line up to the direction you're going. It's quite chaotic, to be honest.
Right, so there's a lot going on here. Right, hold on. Right, let me wrap this head around. So it is a roguelike.
Yes.
And the roguelike elements come from playing cards?
So you go to open a door. Right. 3 rooms will spawn in that blank space.
Okay.
Each room has it'll be a dead end, it'll be like an L shape, or they'll have multiple entrances and exits. Some of them have puzzles in, some of them just have item drops, others have notes and leave like context clues for other rooms. So this is a game that actually does say in one of the notes you pick up at the front door, have a pen and paper to hand, because every day the rooms reset and the setup changes and the rooms regen at different points, or new rooms can generate at different intervals as well. So there's a lot to remember. I'm at the point now where I'm opening saves purely on memory. I'm activating computers based on I remembered what the password was 20 runs ago. Okay. It's a thinker, but the game's gorgeous, and it's only May. Mm-hmm. But it's a strong contender for one of my game of the years.
Ooh,
really is. Big words at this point of the year.
Big claims being made all around. Is there combat in it, or
no? It's just a walk-in puzzle game.
So what ends a run? Just
so you go in and you get 50 steps. So one step is one entrance to a room,
right?
And you end a run once you exhaust yourself, or you work yourself into a avenue in which you can't get out, or you spiral your rooms and you can't progress the run any further. What's quite good is when you do finish it, you get this like little visualization of the house and the room that you've built and like all the deck you've built essentially, and you can like backtrack it over the course of like your days. I'm on like day 30 or something at the minute, and I found loads of different rooms that every time you draft that room you get a perk for each consecutive day you build that room. And then you get certain notes in the house. You can go to a shop and buy key items that might help you in other rooms. Like you could buy a shovel and go and dig in certain areas. But certain days the shop will have 50% offers, or certain days it'll be twice the price. It's quite a lot to remember. And I found a great wee note going through and picking up my clues. It says, oh, by the way, all the notes in the red envelopes are false. Guess who based everything he found on every piece of note that he thought was just going to be the God's gospel, and they were all red notes. So now I don't know what to believe anymore in this game, and I don't know where to go and what to be at. But I'm still playing it. I've 13 hours put into it, and I'm nowhere near end credits.
That's okay. That's a lot going on. I'm not going to lie. It sounds like one of those games where you could explain it for. I could do a full episode explaining that game and
still not do it any justice. It's great. I was contemplating streaming it. It's just not a game I think that can hold a lot of certain viewers' interest. It's one to kind of play on your own and digest on your own as you go. Yeah. Definitely.
It sounds like one of those games. It makes very little sense if you write down how to explaining it, or if you explain it verbally. It just makes way more sense when you see everything together whilst playing it.
Especially when I said it's a house building roguelike. doesn't inspire entertainment.
No, it doesn't. But here, I've played games with worse concepts.
It was a PlayStation Plus day one, so cost nothing, and 13 hours onto that, and I'm desperate to get to room 46 or 56. I can't remember now.
And see what's there.
Just see what happens. Yeah, that's it. Because I've seen other guys have finished the game but continue to go back, and I'm looking at that going, well, I've never seen that room before.
Mm-hmm.
And I was under the impression that you can do certain things and they'll have permanent things. It'll be permanent buffs across the entire game. So I thought, I solved that puzzle. That'll open the antechamber door. No, that also resets at the end of the day. So I now have to find a spawn or a run that will respawn that room so I can complete that puzzle and then also get the room to go to the way I want it. So endless fun.
It sounds really interesting. It does sound interesting.
And the graphical style's gorgeous as well.
I think I have it downloaded. I just haven't opened it at all.
Yeah.
I might do. It sounds interesting. Roguelites, not traditionally my type of game, but you never know. This could be the one. This could be the one that break
the cycle. This is the man who plays XCOM all of a sudden.
That's what I was saying. Like 2025 has been the year that Luvva is playing games that Luvva would never really play and enjoy them. And I know you're not from a gaming podcast, but I have to ask you it anyway.
No, of course.
What are you playing?
No, I may not be from a gaming podcast, but I am a gamer, as you guys know. I've been playing a few things.
Because that would have been really awkward.
Really awkward. Would have been, yeah.
Had to ask you to leave.
If I just turned and said, it's like, I don't play video games. Like, I mean, that would have made for a really interesting segment.
Just a really dull end to the podcast. Yeah. But there we are.
But I've actually been playing a few things lately. And obviously, Luvva, to your dismay, I'm obviously a big Nintendo fan.
Get off.
But I obviously it's because of what I grew up with. But I've also, as part of Nintendo, been into ROM hacks, and more specifically, as of late, Banjo-Kazooie ROM hacks. Okay. There is a developer called Mark Kirko who has recently developed a full Banjo-Kazooie mod called Nostalgia 64. And it's been one of these things that's been in development for a few years. And he had a demo of it called Stay at Home 64, which was released at the start of COVID, basically just to be like, here's what I've done of this game so far. Stay at home, play this game, etc., etc. And what it is there's just the physics of Banjo-Kazooie, the engine of Banjo-Kazooie, and you are playing in levels from different games of like the Nintendo 64 era. So you have levels from Mario 64, you have Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64, there's the Dam from GoldenEye, there's Bomberman 64, and there's a few others as well. But finally, we got a release date for the full mod, and that's in the middle of May. And that was the last thing I was playing just because it was announced yesterday and I was so excited and I had to play it again.
That's cool though. I like that though, when you get a game that's like a full celebration of the console and the era in which, like you and me both sort of grew up playing the N64 that way. So I think to have someone who's come in and done a homage to that, it's kind of like what Astrobot has kind of done for the PlayStation in the modern age. It's like, here's this celebration of this wonderful console and this wonderful thing that it's done for the game industry. That's cool. Like, it's fan made essentially.
Yeah.
And that's really cool there.
Absolutely. And like some of the levels are pretty much almost taken from the original games as well, but there are a lot of levels that are just like reimaginings as well, which is like kind of cool. So I've been playing that and I'm looking forward for the release date of that. I'm definitely just going to get that onto my N64 and play that on stream 100%. The second thing I've been playing a lot lately is Schedule 1.
Okay, yeah.
I'll not go into too much.
Talk me about this. I don't know too much about this. So if you give talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old about Schedule 1, because I raided into the Mighty Ryan about this and he was playing this and I kind of just went, what is this? I don't get it. It kind of looked like Rick and Morty simulator. The
problem with telling it to you like you're 5 years old is it's not something you would talk to a 5-year-old about. Because like without going into like too much explicit detail about it for the sake of the podcast, it's basically a like simulator game, open world. You manufacture and distribute narcotics, but there's all sorts of other things in and around that.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It honestly, it is. It's just brilliant. Like, I can't really sort of explain as to what it is, but I am about maybe 30 hours into that game. I'm not very far into it, but like my attention span doesn't really allow sometimes for me to actually just like, especially with open world games, it doesn't allow me to just stick to the mission at hand. If I have access to like a weapon,
you're going to use it.
I'm going to use it, and I'm going to just forget. And like, it's one of those ones where every minute is an hour in the day. So you'll get through a day in like 20 minutes. But certain things in terms of like growing your produce and stuff, that takes like maybe X number of minutes or something like that. But yeah, I think that's only recently came out anyway, in the last like month or two. And it's I'm curious as to whether it will get a console release. I'm sure it probably will eventually. Maybe
enough of a push. You never know.
I'd say 6 to 12 months, but I think it's still early access in Steam anyway. But it's it's very good. If you get a chance to play it or even like watch somebody streaming it, definitely like check it out. And then the final thing is very recently I got myself one of these, which looks like a Game Boy, but it's a handheld emulator, the R36S, which is basically just a handheld emulator with over 20,000 games on it.
I think I know what he's going to say. I know what he's going to say.
I don't think you do, but it has like N64 on it. It has PlayStation, Game Boy Advance, Dreamcast, Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, etc. And I've actually been playing. In fact, before I tell you what I've been playing on that, Tomahawk, why don't you tell us what you think that I was going to say?
Is it Dino Crisis?
No, but Dino Crisis is on it. Dino Crisis is on it, but I haven't been playing it.
I was going to guess Pokemon.
No, I've been. But see,
the answer's going to be less interesting now, isn't it?
Yes. Spyro.
Spyro the Dragon.
That's all right. Yeah.
Spyro was the first thing, and like the good thing about it is that like, in terms of like the controls on it, it's basically set up like a Game Boy, a PSP, everything really at the same time. So the handheld games on it are like perfect, and like even the PlayStation games, because of the way the controls are mapped to like normal positions of the PlayStation buttons. Honestly, it was like the best 40 quid I've spent in a long time. Like genuinely, like that, though. I mean, the novelty did wear off like relatively quickly of it, but it's one of them things. It's like, if I'm bored, I'm sitting on the sofa, I don't want to go on my computer, I'll just flick this on and just search for a game, and then like it's awesome.
Yeah. The problem you run with that is there's too much variation. Then you end up doing the thing you do when you want to watch Netflix, and you just go through everything on Netflix and decide ultimately to not watch it. Yeah. You could just, I could see yourself getting lost in one of those handhelds and just going through. Exactly. Yeah.
Choice process.
Well, I mean, when you have like 20,000 games to go through, even though there's like so many that I don't actually recognize, but it's still, the whole thing with them is like playing new things that you've never played before versus the nostalgia of the games you've already played as a kid. But in my case personally, I already have all of the games that I liked anyway. So it's kind of defeats the purpose almost. But I don't know, a handy wee thing for just if I'm on the go or anything like that. But it's that was cool. So I've been kind of diving into that as well lately. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
That's pretty cool. Well, is it a POW Kitty? Is it
what?
A POW Kitty? Is that what it?
R36S it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's part of the reason why, just what you were talking about there, is the part of the reason I bought the Steam Deck. Just whenever you're lying there, a handheld is so much easier just to pick up.
Yeah. Well, my wife is exactly the same with that. Like she plays the Switch, but she prefers the Switch Lite, because even like before she had the Switch Lite, she would have always undocked the Switch and just played it on the sofa. And then so when I got her the Switch Lite, she was just like happy as anything.
Perfection.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfection. Yeah. Like Andy, I have played quite a lot this week. Usually I come in here and I'm like, I haven't really played that much. And then I go on, I've been playing XCOM. XCOM's great. But I think for the last 3 or 4 weeks now, that's all I've talked about. I have also, last weekend, I went to Base Arcade in Belfast.
Ooh,
and
very good.
I brought little Luvva, and we had an absolute ball of a time just playing all the old games. He spent a lot of time on the Tetris arcade machine, which I didn't know was a thing. I don't recall Tetris ever being in an arcade, but he played it for ages, and I mean donkeys, just one credit. And I've never seen, I've seen him play on the NES here. Like, I've never seen anyone as good at Tetris as little Luvva. He's crazy. But yeah, we played that. We played some Point Blank 2. They have the full arcade cabinet with 2 guns and everything. Man, I forgot how good Point Blank 2 is. It is an underrated gem of a light gun game. We played a lot of Pac-Man. We played a lot of Tekken 2. We played a ton, and I mean a ton, of Contra. I did not think he would like it. I thought he would find it very frustrating, lose his temper.
In his element, yeah.
But I haven't had as much fun playing a game in a very, very, very long time. It is brutally difficult in the arcade. Like, it is wild how
that's
hard
the
that
point.
game
Yeah,
is.
I think that's the point in those arcade games. It's the draw-in, isn't it?
How many coins of yours can I eat before you run out or beat me? That's basically I think we got to the second or third level of Contra, but the whole time just laughing the whole way through, just at the depths. The depths is just, but we had a great time. There's so many games in Base Arcade. I don't know if you've been, Andy, have you? It seems like right up your street.
I haven't. So it was either is Base Arcade the one in the,
It's the pop-up
the
arcade
one
in the Banana
Block, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. So I haven't been to that, but I was back in like February. I think it was Retro Rooms, which is another pop-up, I think, in the So that, I was meant to go to that one, but it kind of fell through at the end. But I've been dying to go. Yeah. I've been absolutely dying to go. In fact, to this point, I still keep getting emails because I had tickets for the last one. I still keep getting emails like every week being like, "Oh, you're invited." I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." I click into the email. It sends me to the ticket link. I'm like, "Sold out." Technically, everyone is then. You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm invited, why you make me pay for my tickets?
It's how you hook you in. It's how they hook you in.
Exactly. Yeah, they got the hook. They talk about like the importance of hooks in content, and here's me getting absolutely clickbaited by an email.
That's it. I tried for months to get tickets for Base Arcade, and then just thankfully got lucky for April. But no, what an experience. I don't know how many games they had there, but they had tons and tons of games. Me and Little Luvva sat there for the full 4 hours. Your ticket, every machine's on free play, obviously. Yeah. I think I paid less than 30 quid for me and him.
That's incredible.
We more than got our money worth. Like we played through the entirety of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game from 1989.
The side scroller one?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Unreal.
3 a.m. Big Apple. What a game. What a game. And they also have like a load of consoles. So they had a Saturn 64, PlayStation. What else? They have Dreamcast. They had the NES, the Super NES, the Mega Drive. They had a Vectrex.
Oh.
They had a Vectrex, like the full cabinet Vectrex, which Little Luvva was like, "What's that?" And I was like, it's from the 70s, mate. You won't really enjoy it. He sat there and played like the Asteroids ripoff for ages. He loved it. He has this real affinity for the really old games, so he does. But no, Base Arcade, man, what a day, what an experience. The organizers of it as well, chatting to me and Little Luvva, going in and then coming back out again. Brilliant. Just a brilliant way to spend 4 hours on a Saturday. Unbelievable. So many games to play. There's so many games to play. We couldn't make it the whole way round. And there was some games obviously were really popular. Time Crisis 2, again, the full cabinet. Couldn't get near it. There was a House of the Dead 2 as well. Couldn't get near that.
Yeah.
Devastated, because House of the Dead 2 is probably my favorite Lycon game of all time. And there was Initial D version 3, the full cockpit cabinet as well. Couldn't get near it.
Yeah,
What a game Initial D is.
Those super iconic ones, I think they're going to be queued right out as well. So it's hard to manage the expectation, especially in a 4-hour slot there. But it's incredible. I think I said to you maybe the other day, it's like, I might just go in during the month of May, and then it was straight away. Month of May is sold out.
Yeah, honestly, I signed up. My advice for anyone wanting to go into Base Arcade is sign up for the newsletter, and they open it for limited tickets the night before general sale. That's how I got my tickets.
Okay.
So it is, because the organizer on Twitter was like, "Have you signed into this?" And then give me the link, and I signed up, and then got it first go.
Really,
but really, really, really brilliant. So many things that I forgot about gaming, like proper gaming arcades. And you know when you do something you haven't done in a very long time, and then it instantly hits you how much you miss this thing.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened to me. I was playing Street Fighter 2 for ages by myself, and then just this guy came up beside me and was like, "Hey mate, do you want to fight?" And I was like, and I was like, "Yeah, far away." But and then this queue sort of formed behind us. So we had a fight. I beat him. The next guy stepped up. We had a fight. I beat him. But it was brilliant. It was just like that sort of environment just makes you. I used to spend a lot of time in arcades as a kid, and once they went away, obviously I was like, "Ah, that's a shame," and I never really thought about it again until this weekend, and I was like, "Do you want to know what? I miss this social aspect.
Arcade culture." Yeah. It's like you just stick the coin, in that sort of sense, you stick the coin down and it's just winner stays on, basically. Yep. And I think to have that sort of revamped and brought into 2025 is such a cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the Base Arcade would be like a couple of months and then they'll kind of just wind down and do it. And I think they're just perpetually doing it now. They've been flat. It's not so much a pop-up anymore. It's like a full-blown fixed event now.
Yeah. It used to just be like once a month, I think.
It still is.
It still is just once a month, is it? Yeah.
One weekend a month.
One weekend a month, yeah.
Friday night is when they usually have their events. So I think Friday night in May is, I think it's the 30th anniversary of the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yes.
So they're having a screening for Mortal Kombat, plus they have a video game tournament on the Super Nintendo, the Mega Drive, and the arcade machine for Mortal Kombat 2, which would be brilliant, but it's sold out.
Of course. But yeah, I honestly, with what you're just saying about the arcade culture kind of making a comeback with these retro pop-ups, it only takes you to go into an arcade today to sort of realize that they're not what they were. And Luvva, you mentioned House of the Dead 2. I remember House of the Dead 2 being in the arcade round the corner from my house. Yeah. And it was one of those ones, I seen it in every single arcade. I think I maybe played it once or twice, but then when it's gone, you're like kind of, and for me, that game that I always missed in the arcade, now this is a really silly one, Outrun. And it's that little driving one where you can get in the cars.
They have Outrun.
Yeah. So my latest experience playing that game is there is a franchise of bars in the UK called NQ64. Yeah. And it's a similar idea to what we're talking about here. You have your consoles, your arcade cabinets, and then your old OG arcade games like the likes of Pac-Man, Street Fighter, and stuff like that. And it looked so out of place there, but I was just immediately yep, here we go. Let's get on it right now. And I don't know what it was that I actually liked about it, but I think it was just because it just handles really, really smooth. It's just a nice little driving linear race game against yourself or against the clock. And yeah, you don't really see that in arcades anymore. If everything's all ticketed and just typical circus games now kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's what they are now. Yeah, the Turtles arcade cabinet had the original price sticker still on the screen here, and little Luvva's mind was blown when he saw that it was 20p a credit in this game. And he just looked at me and he was like, "Dad, but every game in our arcade's like £1 or £2. And I was like, welcome to the 80s, son. This is how it used to be. This is what they've stolen from you.
Here is your first lesson in inflation.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but what a great time we had. I recommend Base Arcade to everyone. So many games, so many, and the vibe in the place is just amazing. Because it's free play, you can sit in the machine not all day, but if someone's waiting, I mean, to be fair, I didn't really have to wait very long to get a machine. Most people just turn around and go, if they can jump in, do you want to jump in? And if you can't, most people go, do you want to go? And then just leave. And we made sure we did that as well. So there was no one waiting very long for it. But, absolutely fantastic. Well worth the price of entry. It should be more. Don't tell Emma. Don't tell Emma the price up.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. But with all that out of the way, guys, should I tell you what we're going to be playing tonight? What the order of the day is?
Do, because you've had me stressed out all about this in build-up.
Okay. Here is the totally original game show you two are going to be playing tonight against one another. It is Andy's Potential Redemption arc. What I have done is I have created lists of games that released in certain years. I am going to, every list has 10 games. I am going to read through these lists one game at a time, and you can have a guess after every game if you can tell me what year it is. Okay. So the scoring system is also really simple. If you get the year after the first game, you'll get 10 points. If you get the year after the second game, you'll get 9 points, and so on and so forth until we hit the number 10 game. If you get it on the last game, which I think you should for all these lists, I've ordered them in order of difficulty from hard to easy, then you'll get 1 point. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. There is no, you have to be the quickest person to answer here at all. I'll just rotate through you. Both of you will get a chance to say a year after every game if you want. If someone gets it, they get the points. If both of you get it, you both get the points. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
No cheating. I have set up the patented high scores, high stakes Google DAR. And if any of you attempt to use Google or any other search engine, there are others out there, believe it or not, folks, then my radar will alert me with a sound and you will be frozen for entire list.
There'll be none of this Cardinal Smith going, oh, I couldn't possibly know.
Yeah. So I've called this game the Gold 10 Years. Do you want to play this, gentlemen?
Absolutely. It's got a number in it. It's got a color in it. It's got everything you could possibly need in a list-based game show.
Then let's get there. Now let's get to the Gold 10 Years. Let's go. Okay, the time has come. Andy has been banging on about how we robbed them of victory in Toy Story 2 for the best part of 2 years now. We've welcomed them back in with open arms, open hearts, and we're saying, Andy, this is your chance. Don't miss. Don't miss. Okay, let's get into list number 1. Now, I've decided I'm going to go really light news, guys, with list number 1. You should get this fairly quickly. All right, so as I said at the beginning, 10 games per list. If you get it on the first game, that's 10 points. If you get it on the last game, that's 1 point. All right. And Andy, since I want you to redeem yourself against your nemesis here, I'm going to let you answer first on this one, okay?
Thank you.
So, game number 1 of year number 1 is Suikoden 1 and 2 HD. Some people might call this Suikoden because of the way it's spelled.
23.
2023. Tomahawk.
HD collection sounds very early 20s, very early 2000s. So I'm going to go for 2003.
None of yous have got the year.
Okay.
Game number 2. 2 Point Museum.
I'm going to go 2019.
2019. Andy?
2021.
2021. No one has got the year. Game number 3. Lunar Remastered. Any ideas, gentlemen?
2018.
Okay, 2018. Tomahawk?
I'm going to go 2017.
No one has got the year.
No one's got the year. Okay.
Game number 4. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves.
Oh, 2025.
2025.
2025.
2025. That is 6 points each.
Should that one count, really?
Yeah. But you
Okay,
played the
no,
game.
do you know, I shouldn't be asking that in the the whole spirit of redemption. Do you know, I'll take it.
I'm all about fairness here, Andy. I mean, I said this all the time. We are all about integrity here at High Scores High Stakes.
Of course.
We do not cheat. We do not do anything that you've accused us of on Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky, or anywhere else. You've called us out for cheating. That is not something we do here, except for Tom. Tom cheats
again. Just remember
Sweet Kid in 1 and 2 HD.
I honestly never heard of it.
Came out in January, mate. It's one of the first games out this year. Rate it really highly. It's a really good game. You should buy it. Sweet Kid is really good. It's a PlayStation 1 era RPG. So it is. Okay. Are you ready for year number 2 then? This one, I think this one's pretty easy.
But okay, let's hear it then.
Game number 1, Sonic Adventure 2.
2012.
Okay.
2003.
Nobody has got the year.
I know it was close to that, though.
Game number 2. I must preface this, Tom. I made these lists when I thought this was going to be Cardinal Smith, and I apologize in advance. Game number 2 is Conker's Bad Fur Day.
1999.
Okay.
I was going to say 1999 as well, but 1998 I'm going to go for.
Okay. Nobody has got the year. I'm surprised.
Oh, it was 2000, wasn't it?
Game number 3, RuneScape.
2000.
Okay. I see what's going on here.
1997.
Okay. Next game. No one's got it. No one's got the year yet. Okay. Game number 4 is Capcom versus SNK 2.
2014.
2014, okay.
Conker's Bad Fur Day in 2014.
No. That wasn't Conker's Bad Fur Day.
No.
It's the same year, mate.
Same year.
All these games come out in the same year. Oh. That's kind of the game. But that's about it. 2014 is out there now.
2001.
Somebody has got the year. Somebody is getting 6 points. That person is sitting in front of me in this chat right now. It is Tomahawk. It was 2001, which is really late on for an N64 game.
Very late. Very late.
It's also really late for a Dreamcast game as well.
I'm so confused right now.
I think we've broke Andy.
A little bit. I might have accidentally sort of misunderstood the rules.
All these games released in the same year, Andy. So every time I change list, it is 1 year. All these games come out on it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Okay, get you.
So the first list were all 2025 games. That second list is all 2001 games. This list is going to have 10 games that all released in the same year. You have to tell me what year that was.
Okay, better late than never for my redemption.
It's okay. You're only 6 points behind. The scores right now is 12 to Tom, 6 to you. It's all to play for here. You might get this next one on game number 1. This list, I think, is a lot harder. Okay? Are you ready? For year number 3, game 1. Contra 3, The Alien War. Any
2022.
2022. Tomahawk?
I'm going to go early. I'm going to go 1996.
Nobody has got the year. Game number 2 of this year is Wolfenstein 3D.
1998.
1998.
1994.
1994. Nobody has got the year. The next game, game number 3, is the X-Men. Now, this is the arcade game. Any ideas?
1987.
87.
1988.
Nobody has got the year.
Okay.
This next one should give you a fair idea of what sort of era we're in here. Game number 4 is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo hyper fighting.
1993.
1991.
Nobody has got the year. Game number 5 is Night Trap.
1992?
94.
Somebody has got the year there. That person is, for 5 points, Tomahawk. 1992.
Rigged.
Okay, year number 4. Game number 1. The Simpsons game.
1999.
Okay.
2000.
Okay. Nobody's got the year.
Okay.
Game number 2 is The Witcher.
2004.
2003.
Nobody has got the year.
No. Okay.
Game number 3, Forza Motorsport 4? Or Forza Motorsport, sorry. Just Forza Motorsport. Sorry, it's just the way it's formatted. So Forza Motorsport,
2002.
the first one.
2004.
Nobody has got the year.
Can't remember if I said 2004.
Game number 4, Stranglehold.
2005.
2001.
Nobody's got the year. Game number 5 is Kane and Lynch, Dead Man.
2003.
Oh, this
I
is
haven't
going to
already
be
said that.
2007.
Somebody has got the year. It is, for 5 points, Tomahawk.
It's
The Simpsons game was out in 2007.
Coincided with the movie.
I was trying to think, was it
okay.
before Hit and Run? And then as soon as she said Cain and Abel, I'm like, that's definitively a PS3 title, so it has to be later.
See, that's why I was getting like kind of confused, because I knew Simpsons Hit and Run came out way before, and it was just after 2001 ish.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was after the Crazy Taxi, like the Simpsons. What do you call it?
I can't remember what the Simpsons was called. Road Rage.
Yeah, it was right after that, because I know that was a PS1.
That was
but
PS2 as well.
It was, yeah.
It was PS2.
Was not on PS1?
No. Simpsons Wrestling came out the same year on PS1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Wow, I did not realize it came out that late.
That's so late, yeah. But then it's a tie into the movie, I suppose. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the games that coming up there would give it a dead away. Half-Life 2, Episode 2, Crysis, Guitar Hero 3, Halo 3, and then Mass Effect.
Oh yeah,
all the same year. What a year! By the way,
that's incredible. That's
by the way,
there's a
few years coming up, and it was like, oh my days, they'll come out in 1 year. That is insane. That is insane. So just give you a score update after. What's that? 4 rounds. Tomahawk, you are on 22, and Andy, you're on 6. So some work to do here. But if you get one of these lists in game number 1,
this is very much you can tell how much time I spend with Luvva now when it comes to I can narrow down gaming releases quite handily now. You're a bad influence on me, Luvva. That's all I'll say now.
It's called education.
But it also does make for an even better redemption arc too. So that's kind of like what I'm holding on to at this point, 4 rounds in.
Yep. So we are round number 5, year number 5. This is the halfway point. I have 10 lists here, okay? So there's plenty of time to come back in this, Andy. Just try to get these as early as possible. Try to beat Tom to the punch. That is the name of the game here. I want to see you win. I want to see Tom's little disappointed face at the end of this. Nothing gives me more happiness than Tom's little disappointed face. Okay, year number 5 then. Game number 1. Populous.
Populous sounds like an old title, so I'm going to kind of slap it into 1989.
Okay.
I'm going to go the other way and say 2009.
Someone has got the year. Someone has got the year. For 10 points. The first time this has happened this episode. So remind me, Tom, 1989.
I did.
Andy, 2009.
Yeah.
Tomahawk.
Oh, for God's sake.
You've absolutely nailed it.
Oh, and I don't even know what my logic on that was. It was like Populous sounds like something that would be like something that would predate the Civilization games.
It sounds like a scroller arcade game kind of thing. Like,
no, it is a Bullfrog God game from 1989. What a game.
Amazing.
What a game. 1989 was actually a pretty banging year for games. You had Populous, you had SimCity, Castlevania The Adventure on Game Boy, Prince of Persia, Minesweeper.
Wow,
really? Minesweeper was 1989.
Yeah, I know, right? And then you had Batman on the NES, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade machine, DuckTales, Golden Axe, Tetris on the Game Boy. What a year.
Wow,
I would have got 1989 with a lot of those.
Game changing, to be fair, yeah.
Like a lot of those, I would have got 1989, but not that.
But yeah, what a year. What a year. What a great year for games. Of all the years, if someone said to me, what was a good year for games? 1989 would not have popped my head until I made this list. And I was like, 1989.
Actually, yeah, super iconic. Yeah.
You ready for the next list? List number 6. It's not over yet, Andy. It's not over yet.
Not over yet. Okay.
So year number 6. Game number 1. Hearthstone.
Hearthstone,
yeah.
2011.
Hearthstone. I am in my head. I've got sort of Kingdom Come Deliverance vibes here, but I think it's going to be earlier than Kingdom Come, so I'm going to slap it into 2007. I think.
Okay. What year did you say, Andy?
2011.
Okay. Nobody's got the year.
Okay.
Game number 2. Valiant Hearts.
1995.
Okay.
2004.
Okay. Nobody's got the year. This next one might give you an idea of where this is in the timeline of gaming. FNAF. Five Nights at Freddy's.
2020. Oh, no. 2013.
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's. It's probably a bit later than 2013. I'm going to go 2017 because I feel as if like 2017 was quite a big year for games and quite a big year for this. Is this the first installment of Five Nights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's like not the first installment, I'll give you the number, and if it is like a very specific version of the game, I'll tell you what
the subtitle on
is.
It. Okay.
Yeah. No one has got the year there, which surprised me because I thought this. But you now know the sort of ballpark you're in.
Yeah.
Game number 4, Smite.
2016.
16. Okay.
2012. Let's go with 2012.
Nobody has got the year. Game number 5. Ollie.
Ollie's a great game. Ollie's a really good game.
Yeah.
Now, where does it fit in the timeline, though?
Mm-hmm.
It's a pre-lockdown, pre-COVID game, definitely. I'm going to go as late as this, 2018, if it's not already been said.
No, it hasn't.
I'll say 2016.
Okay. Nobody has got the year.
Okay.
Nobody's got the year yet. Next up is game number 6, Forza Horizon 2.
2019.
Okay.
2014?
Say that again, sorry?
2014?
2014. Somebody's got the year. It is Tomahawk.
Oh, no way.
4 points.
See, I knew Five Nights at Freddy's was a lot older than people thought, but I started to doubt myself after that.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was a Forza game in 2019, but Maybe it wasn't that one.
Yeah, it was probably Forza Horizon 4. We're up to 5 now. Like, so
yeah, probably.
Yeah. The rest, 2014 is another one. Like Hearthstone, Valiant Hearts. Valiant Hearts is that Ubisoft World War I game. The one with the dog. That's like.
Do you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking back to our PlayStation 1 draft, and I was thinking of Vagrant
Story. Yeah, Vagrant Story. And then FNAF Smite, which is the MOBA game with the gods. Ollie Ollie, Forza Horizon 2, Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare was next, Titanfall, PT, Alien Isolation.
Oh, PT. I lives rent free in my head still, PT.
Yeah. You haven't stopped this flood yet, Andy, so you haven't.
I don't know if there's a way back literally at this point. Is it mathematically possible?
Yes, it is. Tomahawk is currently on 36. You're on 6. There's 4 more lists to get. If you get these 4 in the first game, then you win.
Sick.
What a comeback that would be. That'd
be the miracle of Istanbul.
Your Istanbul, yeah. We'll call this the Andy final if you come back from this. Are you ready for the next
Andy
year?
Istanbul.
Boo.
Are you ready for the next list?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Okay. So this year, game number 1, Mortal Kombat 11.
2024.
It's much earlier than that. It is 2017.
Nobody has got the year. Game number 2, Kingdom Hearts 3.
2020.
Okay.
2022.
Okay. Nobody has got the year. Next game. The Outer Wilds.
Oh, god damn it. I was playing this quite recently as well. This was a 2020 game, was it? I think this was a stay-at-home initiative game.
Okay.
So I'm saying 21.
21, and you said 2020, Tom?
Yeah.
Nobody has got the year.
Okay.
Next up, game number 4, The Outer Worlds.
What Bethesda's or Obsidian's finer games, actually?
2019?
It's a bit later than that now. Is it 2020? 2021?
Somebody has got the year for 6 points. That person is Andy.
Yo,
Andy. Nice one.
Well done, Andy.
Thank you. The comeback is on.
The comeback is on. That is Xavi Alonso's penalty right there. So it is. So it is. Well done. Yeah, that was 2019, believe it or not. Another really good year. Next up is Man of Medan, Borderlands 3, Apex Legends. This one got me because I didn't realize this game was this old. Division 2.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Division 2 being 20.
And then you have Resident Evil 2, the remake, Control, Days Gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 2019. 2019 absolutely slapped.
It's a good year. Like, yeah, it's a good year. Yeah, it is.
So I threw myself off as soon as I said 2024 for Mortal Kombat 11, I realized it was Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
That they released in 2024 because I bought Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch because it was like going for like $1.50 or something. Like it was like 95% off or something. Like,
nice.
But being on the Switch, like a game like that being on the Switch, of course, it's gonna not really do too well.
Not massively optimized,
for the Switch One anyway. Yeah. So as soon as I said that, I realized I was like, no.
I think that's what tripped me up as well. I may have been thinking about Mortal Kombat X, which I think was a couple of years earlier,
2011.
Yeah,
something.
I was hoping
that.
you were going to say Mortal Kombat Trilogy. To be honest with you,
if I was getting confused with Mortal Kombat Trilogy, then I've got a problem with my gaming sequences.
Yeah, only about like 25 years difference or something.
See, I knew that Outer Wilds would confuse Tom. Because
Outer
the other
Wilds,
ones,
it's one of those ones I've played a couple of times, and it's another one to just, you could lose yourself in the infiniteness of that game. It's great. It's a great game.
Yeah, the comeback is on, as Andy has said. The comeback is on here. Tomahawk, you better watch yourself here, kid, because Andy's coming for you.
Gotta get my thinking cap on, my lateral thinking cap.
I believe in him so much right now. You ready for the next list? This is list number 8. And game number 1 is Bubsy 3D.
Say that again, sorry?
Bubsy 3D.
1997.
1992.
Okay. Nobody has got the year. Game number 2 is Duke Nukem 3D.
1997. Wait, did you say 1997?
I did say 97.
1998.
Okay.
I'll go 1999 then.
Nobody has got the year. Game number 3 is Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain.
2001.
Okay.
2000 on the button.
Nobody has got the year.
Okay.
Nobody's got the year yet.
Oh, wow.
Game number 4 then is Broken Sword.
1996.
Okay.
It's Legacy of Kain I'm still thinking of then. It's the PlayStation 1 era. 2002? Was it that late to the party?
No, it wasn't. Someone has got the year. And it's Andy. With another 6-pointer.
Duke Nukem 3D. Yeah, it came out just before the N64 version, and that was the PS1 version, Duke Nukem 3D.
Yeah, PS1, PlayStation.
I think when I said 98, I think that was the N64 release year. I think
quite possibly, because they've re-released that game so many times. Yeah. I thought Legacy of Kain would have thrown you as well, because you're obviously thinking Soul Reaver, Tomahawk, but Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain is the top-down 2D predecessor to both of those games.
Okay, that's where I've got confused then.
I thought that would have thrown you. Again, 1996, pretty stellar year.
Yeah, what else did we have on that list? Actually, so I'm curious.
Let's discount Bubsy 3D because it's one of the worst games ever made. Duke Nukem 3D is pretty important. Blood Omen Legacy of Kain is a really good game. Don't care what anyone says. Broken Sword was a really good point-and-click adventure. Twisted Metal World Tour.
Okay, I would have got it then. I would have got it with Twisted Metal.
Yeah, and then we have Quake.
I would have got it with Quake and Crash.
Crash Bandicoot, Parappa the Rappa, Resident Evil, and Tomb Raider. Great year.
Absolutely slaps. Like, I mean, we've talked about we've talked Tomb Raider, oh god, there's to death on this podcast as well. And Resident Evil, we have our stance on that as well. So yeah, that wow, yeah, what a great year.
Well, I know, right?
But then that's it. When you get hard hitters like Tomb Raider and Resident Evil happening in one year, these other games like do get overshadowed big time.
Yeah. So we are coming into list number 9, but let's just do a quick little score update. Andy, you're on 18. Tomahawk, you're still on 36. Now, let me just check my math here.
I need 2 perfect rounds, basically.
Yeah, 36. You need 2 perfect rounds.
More or less, yeah.
And you never know. These 2 years might be easy years.
Who knows? They're not. No, definitely not.
One is, one isn't. I will give them that much.
Okay.
I've tried to sort of put them easy, hard. So this one is, I personally think this is quite an easy one. But game number 1 for this year is Roller Drome.
Roller Drome.
Yep. Roller Drome.
Am I thinking of a different game altogether now? I'm going to go probably the wrong end of the scale here. I'm going to go for 2016.
Okay. Andy?
I will say 2023.
Okay. Nobody has got the year.
Damn.
Game number 2 is Pentiment.
You said this was the easy year?
Don't know it. Don't know it.
Okay.
Can't hazard a guess. I'm going to go and slap it into 2009 then, just to take a decade away.
Okay.
2001.
Okay. Nobody's got the year. Game number 3. This will give you an idea of where this lies in the timeline. It is Destiny 2, The Witch Queen.
2014.
Okay. Andy?
2018.
Okay, nobody has got the year. Game number 4 is Ollie Ollie World. What a game, by the way.
2016.
I was going to say 2016 as well on that one.
That's fine. You can pick the same year. That's fine. Nobody's got the year.
Okay.
Game number 5 is Tunic.
It's 2018.
2018. Okay. Andy?
2020.
Nobody has got the year. Game number 6 is Total War Warhammer.
2024.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking. It's not that. I'm still going to go 2017 then. I'm going to keep it in that decade.
Nobody has got the year. I think, Andy, you were confusing that with Warhammer
Space Marines
40k, Space Marine 2. Game number 7, then there's still points to be had here. Game number 7 is Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, yes. Cult of the Lamb is such a great game. This is going to be 2023.
What, 2023, Tom? Andy, what did you say, mate?
2013.
2013? No one's got the year. Game number 8 is probably going to give us away. TMNT, Shredder's Revenge.
2022?
Okay. Andy?
2021.
Tomahawk. You are correct. It was 2022. It was 2022.
Did I basically list every year in the 2020s except 2022?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, this is like that resurgence in the scroll and beat 'em up game. Like I adore this game. I think I've been pushing for this to be a challenge game for the longest time, but it hasn't been to be yet.
I'm all for it. It's on PlayStation
gorgeous.
Plus.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous game, to be honest. But I think that there's a lot of modes that are behind paywalls and DLCs, which I find a bit.
There only is like 6 characters and 2 game modes behind paywall, and the DLC's on sale right now for like £3.50.
Oh, really? That'll be well worth it.
No excuses, mate. So just buy it. Be quiet, please. Andy, unfortunately for you, that means redemption is going to have to wait for another day.
Of course.
But we might as well. I put time in this. We might as well play the last year.
I'm fine with that.
And just by looking at this list, it's up there. It's up there with an all timer. Like, so it is. Game number 1 is Persona 4. Persona 4, if you prefer that pronunciation.
Now, the Persona games, I feel as if aren't these like really arbitrarily named and sequenced, not in the order that in my head. It's not in the order that you think.
I mean, I don't know what you mean by that.
Persona 4
sequential order. They're just not related to each other.
Persona 4, I think it's not a mad gap between all the games anyway. So I'm just gonna
no comment.
2015.
Okay.
2013.
Okay. Nobody has got the year.
Okay.
Game number 2 is Turok.
2013.
Okay. Andy?
I just said 2013.
Oh, did he?
2011.
No, I know what it is now.
2011.
Yeah, nobody's got the year.
Okay.
Game number 3, Army of 2.
Is it 2000 and
2012?
2008.
Okay, Andy, what did you say?
2012.
2012. You said 2012 last time?
No, I said 13 and then 11.
Oh, okay. Somebody's got the year. And they're getting 7 points. And that person is Tomahawk. Decisive victory, Tomahawk, mate.
It was the Turok one that got me. I knew that they rebooted it on the 360 PS3 era. And yeah, it was 2008. It was weirdly year to stick out in terms of gaming. I didn't mind that Turok reboot. It was fine, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose it was all right. It was nothing like it's just one of those games that happens to come out. It was fine. It wasn't.
I don't think Turok needed a reboot, to be quite honest with you, because
it was never good.
It was. I mean, so I like Turok 2. I mean, it is one of the more insanely difficult games I've ever played, but it's unnecessarily like. I wouldn't even say it's actually difficult. It's just there's no guidance. It's
so poorly designed. The whole series is so poorly designed.
Like I played Turok 1 and I thought it was garbage. Just like the linear, I didn't like that. I liked kind of exploring the levels and stuff, but I did think there was like absolutely no guidance or anything in Turok 2. I could only ever get past the first 2, maybe 3 levels at a push. But let's be honest, beware, Oblivion is at hand.
I don't appreciate a game that makes you 100% it for you to go to the next level.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, you got to keep in context of when this released. I mean, Turok 2 came out
25 years ago at least,
1998. And in 1998, first-person shooters were Quake. They were Unreal. They were Doom. It was just get this key, go here. Get this key, go here. Get this key, go here. There you go. It's the end of the level. It's just the design philosophy at the time. Turok 2. I think all the Turoks are just really poorly designed. There's no real logic to the levels. You can't you never get a feel of what the developers want from you at all, ever in it. The best Turok game on N64 is Rage Wars, which dumped the first-person story and just made it multiplayer only, and it was really good. It was really good.
It was quite fun, I remember.
Like Turok 2, like I think its lack of NPCs basically kind of...
Oh, it's empty space.
A little bit of it. Yeah, it was it was almost like a half-finished game. Like I say, I liked it. Like I liked it just for the... it's a fun game. It's pretty for what it is. Like it's very pretty, very well polished, but in terms of the gameplay itself, it's just it's kind of just you find yourself kind of wandering a little bit sort of directionless for most of the time.
For a lot of the playtime, you're just wandering, looking for something that you haven't gotten.
Yeah, but even circling back to that reboot as well, it was kind of a mixed blend of the two of them. But you were like a mercenary. You were some sort of strike force team on an alien planet, so it had this like vibe of the OG Turok, but it also felt like they were trying to emulate this like Predator with Adrian Brody vibe at the same time.
I think I think what they were doing there was, I mean, the original Turok was sci-fi as well. It was based on the comic series. I think it was a Dark Horse series of comics, this here game, and I think they thought, they didn't really capture the vibe of the comic back in 1997 or whatever it was. The first one came out. We want to capture the actual. This is real Turok. That's why it's just called Turok. But yeah, it didn't really do much for you. 2008, by the way, the potential to be an absolute all-timer of a year. It is incredible. Once you're done, look up 2008 and what came out. Wild.
So, like, sorry, go
on ahead. I haven't picked the best games in 2008 for this list at all.
One of the reasons I didn't get 2008 was because as soon as you said Persona 4, whenever I was in uni, there was a fella I lived with 1 year, and he was obsessed with that game to the point where you thought it had only just come out.
Yeah.
So here was me. This was 2014, 2015, and I was thinking, okay, this game can't really be more than 2-3 years old at this point because this guy's talking about Persona 5 and all this, and I just didn't realize that. Because then I know you said, Tom, about there being like gaps in between all the games, but 2008.
What was he playing it on?
Would have been PlayStation 4.
Don't know. I was just thinking because there was 2 versions of it. Persona 4 came out in 2008, and then there was Persona 4 Golden that came out
I think
a year, maybe 18 months later, and then they re-released Golden onto the Vita in 2013 as well. So that's why I'm asking what
PS3 or PS4. I can't. Well, probably it was 2015, probably 10 years ago. So probably more likely PS3.
Yeah.
I am just looking at the 2008 list here. So you've got Grand Theft Auto 4, Fallout 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, Chains of Olympus, Dead Space, Gears of War 2, Little Big Planet, COD World at War, Force Unleashed, Left 4 Dead, Webs of Shadows, Persona 4, as we said, Command and Conquer, Need for Speed, Turok, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk. So lots of like MCU tie-ins at this point as well.
Awful ones from Sega.
Yeah. Far Cry 2, Sonic Unleashed, Mirror's Edge, Prince of Persia reboot as well. Man, that game.
What a year.
What a year.
All-timer. It's a genuine all-timer year for game releases. Just wall-to-wall, absolute bangers. Incredible year. Probably the best year out of these ones, to be honest.
Strong titles there.
It's just incredible. Do you want to know the final scores then?
Always.
It's not as far away as you think it is, Andy. So it's not.
I'm not bitter about this one.
Tom picked up a couple of fours, a couple of threes. Tom finished on 46. You finished on 18. It's all right. It's all right. It's not an easy game.
For having not understood the rules for the first 3 rounds,
I think you've done all right so far.
I think I've done all right. Yeah. Like that was on me.
I don't know. Maybe I could have explained it better, but here we live and learn, don't we, Andy?
We live and learn.
It's a learning moment for all of us, especially Tom, who's won. Well done, Tomahawk. You're what's that? 3-0.
That's it. I'd take that. Yeah. I took a speed run on our channel, beat him in a speed run on his channel, and I've guessed the year releases of games on here again.
But on that though, I would just like to go back to something that Luvva said at the very beginning of this recording, and that was about the manner in which he won season 4's high stakes cup.
Yeah, by cheating.
You cheated via an Instagram poll. Okay. And another thing Luvva also said was about we haven't done anything you've accused us of on XYZ platforms. He also failed to mention Instagram. So I think that also kind of points to Tomahawk, the Instagram cheater here.
Yeah.
This time I'm not bitter this time because this one was purely knowledge based, and I think I was coming in here as the underdog, and I totally accept defeat graciously in this time. I'm not gonna throw out another challenge after this appearance because I don't want to go 4-0. Last time I was on the podcast, I threw out a challenge. For those who have watched that episode, definitely watch it. And I threw out a gauntlet to Tom, and he beat me at my own challenge, which it happened. But yes, now I have absolutely zero confidence in doing that. So I'm just going to take this defeat graciously, and that will be it.
Who knows? Maybe in 18 months, you'll be right back here seeking redemption one more time. Who knows, Andy?
Who knows? Yeah. Like, I can't think of what it might be in regards to, but there might be something.
Oh, we'll have some crazy game show adaptation, no doubt, in the near future as well. But that was a lovely little game show. I'm really liking these game shows that we're doing in the side quest now. Some of them are really difficult.
Yep.
And yeah, I think you can only get so far with like just the name at face value. But yeah, was good fun. And when you do start putting those lists together, God, there were some bangers in those years.
Yeah, 1989 is the one that took me by surprise. I couldn't believe it, and I was like, 1989. I suppose it makes sense because it was
for the industry as well.
Yeah, it was the year the Game Boy came out. So in hindsight, yeah, it does.
That still blows my mind as well. Like obviously, like being born in the sort of early mid 90s, like Game Boy Color was like my first handheld, and I think we did have a Game Boy growing up as well.
Yeah.
But just didn't think there was that long between them. Like, I didn't think that
the Game Boy stuck around for a very, very, very long time. It's 1989 to 2002 when the Game Boy Advance came out. But in saying that, Pokemon Silver came out in 2002, I think. So
the one thing I will say about those handheld consoles, though, backwards compatibility, like all the way through.
Yeah.
Like, you had backwards compatibility right up until the Game Boy Advance SP, I believe.
No, the Game Boy Advance SP is still backwards compatible. The Game Boy,
that's what I'm saying. That was the last one that did have it, I believe. And then, because I think was the DS Micro, after that,
the Game Boy Advance Micro came out, and then the DS.
Yeah. As a DS, obviously, it was like an entirely new system with the cartridges. But like the fact that they had that compatibility for
16 years.
15, 16 years, something like that. That was, another reason why Nintendo is good. And I will convince you one day, Luvva, I promise.
I mean, I've owned every single Nintendo handheld console they've ever made. I've owned them all. I like their handheld systems.
That's brilliant.
I owned GameCube, Wii U as well. And this household has 2 Switches. I'm not anti-Nintendo. I just don't vibe with them. I really don't. So I like Pokemon a lot.
Yeah,
I will play Pokemon, but I don't vibe with Mario. I never have. I think that's a consequence of we were a Sega household.
Yeah,
and then we were a PlayStation household. I've never vibed with Mario. I have no emotional link with Mario at all.
So,
but give me a new Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah. I think the thing with Nintendo though is like Nintendo is good at its niches, like at its own originality with the games and like their flagship stuff. But from like the GameCube, when they like really started introducing more games that were across like PlayStation and Xbox as well, that's whenever it started to like falter. And then obviously they brought it back with the Wii, only with their original titles.
Yeah.
The Switch, same again. And Switch 2, hopefully they'll have caught up in terms of optimization of like the Xbox and the PlayStation, but maybe it'll be the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I don't know, but
they did not catch up.
I can't see it being like caught up to this gen, but it would still be close enough, I would like to think. But that being said, I don't know. I'm the Nintendo guy.
It will bridge gap. But it'll be PlayStation 4 power maximum with modern tech. They have
that'll be good enough though, because
that's it. Nintendo know what they want to do. They know what their hardware is capable of, and I think that they put them in their little pigeonhole, their little niche, just because it's.
See, you say that Nintendo know what their hardware is capable of. I really don't think modern Nintendo is aware, because Pokemon Scarlet, great game though it is, runs atrociously. It runs in low teen frames at times.
Those 3D Pokemon games, I think I would almost go as far to say that they were almost like a bit rushed to the fact that they're not fully optimized.
Yes,
like they are, like they're good concepts and stuff.
Really good games. They are really good games, and
they're a bit, exactly. Like, but
modern Nintendo is a weird one. But let's bring this conversation into the wrap-up section, because this is an interesting conversation to have. Let's get there now. Right, let's talk Nintendo.
Why not?
No, I said beforehand, this house has 2 Switches. We've spent a lot of money on Switches and games and stuff. The Nintendo Switch 2 announcement left me stone cold. There's nothing in there. I went, ooh, nothing.
Not even the mouse feature that nobody's ever going to use.
It's things like that. Like, I like Nintendo when they're doing Nintendo things, but putting a mouse feature on a predominantly portable console.
Yeah.
My only question, I had 2 questions. Number 1, how comfortable is that going to be? The answer is not very. And number 2, where am I going to use this mouse function? When I'm on the bus? No. When I'm on the sofa? No. So if I want to use a mouse function, I have to be at a table or a desk. And then where's the point in it having portability?
Yeah, you're not playing a desktop game at that point. No, definitely not.
And then the third question was what games? Because they only showed Metroid Prime 4 using
the Donkey Kong. That was the new first 3D Donkey Kong since Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Kong uses the mouse.
No. Oh, do you mean like what games does the mouse use?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I was like, what?
There was there was the
this changes everything.
I don't know I don't know what the game was called, but it was basically like wheelchair basketball.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the
mouse is purely looks there. Pretty good. I won't lie. It looks pretty good.
The mouse is purely there for their tech demo games that should be free, but they're charging $10 for. Yeah.
Pikmin.
Exactly.
We'll use the mouse and actually use it properly. I don't know. The whole thing, just the top to bottom, is just a massive messaging. The prices of the games not being on the cartridges, but some games are. Oh, you want to play your old Switch games on it? That's fine. You pay us some money, but not for all the games. Only some of the games. And all I hear about is a mess. And then, as you say, Tomahawk, the tech demo being £10, and the price of the peripherals is eye-watering.
Yeah.
£90 for the Joy-Cons for a set of 2.
And that went up quite recently as well. I think even before the pre-orders launched, they bumped the prices up by another £10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That way as well. So
it was £90 for
crazy.
The 2 Joy-Cons. 80.
Like the hardware, like they'll charge through the nose for the hardware.
But I think the hardware price itself, $430 with Mario Kart, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an overpriced machine at all. It probably is for the tech in it. I mean, it's PlayStation 4, PlayStation, and Xbox One power, which is 10 years old tech, but it has modern tech on it. You're probably looking at tech here from about 2019, 2020. That's what we're looking at. 5-year-old tech right now, £450 in a really nice form factor, because I like the look of the machine. But it's just the added costs and if I buy Zelda Breath of the Wild and I want to play a Switch 2 version, do I pay money for that, or do I have to have Nintendo Online plus expansion pass, or what's the crack? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's not as clear the message is what PlayStation would say. Like whenever Days Gone came out, they were like, oh look, if you own it, pay a £10 upgrade fee, or there's The Last of Us, pay a £10 upgrade fee. I think Nintendo are kind of just hedging their bets that if they say nothing, people will just buy the Switch 2 version.
I mean, but they have communicated quite a bit, but it's really confusing. So some games require an upgrade. So the 2 Zelda games are, if you own the Switch 1 cartridge currently, I think it's £10 or £12,
something like that. Yeah. It's like $20, I think it was.
Yeah, and then Kirby's the same.
Yep.
But a load of the other games have the upgrade, but they're free. Some have the upgrade, but they're free if you have Nintendo Online plus expansion pass. It's just a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah. Like, whenever I watched the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2, like, it was really, really well dressed. Like, it was a really good, like, everything about it was like, this looks incredible. Like, I thought it was a very, very well done, quite an exciting presentation, right? But then, obviously, as soon as they didn't release the price then and there, they found everything to pick apart about it, because there were so many things that then came out, all these other announcements, like through their app and everything, and people were like, what is going on here? Like, it wasn't like, it kind of like almost as if they pulled the wool over everybody's eyes in the actual presentation itself. But I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I know a lot of people who've pre-ordered it, and apparently that's been a whole bit of rigmarole as well. Like, there
will be demand. Yeah, it's like there will be demand to accommodate these pre-orders, and nobody can actually get a pre-order now. It's the same thing with like the PlayStation 5 and even the gross misprice of the PlayStation 3 as well. So, like, it's history. This self-fulfilling prophecy at the minute. Like, we're just in circles. And
it's not even that it's not even that for the Switch 2. Like, for the Switch 2, it's like, take Curry's for example. They were only taking in-store pre-orders. You couldn't pre-order it online. You had to go into a store. and that was like the kind of main place I think that we're actually doing the pre-orders.
I don't think Game had pre-orders online either.
Nope.
So you had to go to your local Sports Direct.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. I think for me, like if I'm going to get one, I'll wait a year.
I'll wait a year.
Maybe Black Friday 2026.
Yeah, but Little Luvva will probably ask for one, and Santa will probably get that for him.
He will oblige.
But if he doesn't ask for one, if it ain't in the Santa list, it ain't coming. That's my stance on it. And fair. I don't know. I'm getting flashbacks to the 3DS launch where pre-orders were extremely hard to get. It was kind of overpriced. The games were expensive, and back then even there was a lot of problems with the 3DS, and it sold out on release day. 6 months later, Nintendo were offering everyone 21 SNES games as a sorry because they dropped the price. I don't know. It just there's a lot of parallels between the Switch 2 announcement and the 3DS announcement. A lot of the complaints are the same. Yeah. Nintendo being the first ones to jump up to the £80 price point for some games. Again, another point of confusion. Some were 80, some were 60, some were 40. They didn't really tell anyone anything about anything. No. It's a mess. It's just slaps of Sony in 2006 with the PlayStation 3. It slaps of Nintendo in 2012 with the release of the Wii U. And it stinks of we're on top of the game here and we can do what we want.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
The discourse online's disgraceful. It always is. I hate gaming Twitter. I know I'm a part of it. I hate it. It is just grown men fighting with each other over which billion-dollar corporation has sold more games this month. Who cares?
Yeah, or what they think about the revamped Donkey Kong, which is
awesome, by the way,
a callback to the original Donkey Kong from 1981, with some elements of the rare Donkey Kong.
That
is what it is.
The redesign looks awesome.
I love it.
I love it too.
Like
it's smart.
Yeah, exactly.
My only issue with it. Is Donkey Kong in Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart World.
Yep,
is not the same look as Donkey Kong in the 3D platform.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange. That was a wee bit strange, but
they've gone for like the movie vibe.
Yeah,
for him,
they've. It's almost like they're kind of keeping like the universes separate in like their own way. Like,
which is weird.
Yeah, because it's weird because if you go back to like Mario Kart 64, right? Like the Donkey Kong in that is literally DK Country.
Yeah.
Like there's literally the same avatar as DK Country from 94.
Probably use the same sprites.
Yeah,
to be fair. But people are going to start accusing us here of being Nintendo bashers. We're not. As I said, I've owned a lot of Nintendo consoles in my time. I just don't really. I just don't vibe with them. The kids love it. The kids love Nintendo. I like nothing more than getting Nintendo Switch in the TV in the living room with the kids and playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. What a game! What a game! But anyway, let's bring this here Tomahawk to an end. This is the wrap up section, of course, because this episode is all wrapped up now. Andy has talked about his beloved Nintendo. We've accommodated him. We've given him a chance at redemption. He missed the target. Like it wasn't his Istanbul. It was his. Was it Paris in 2020 where we got absolutely annihilated by Gareth Bale?
Yeah, Paris 2019.
2019. That was it.
Oh no, 2018.
No, 19.
Won it in 2019.
We're not doing sports. We're not doing sports.
We're not sports podcast
today. No, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, you rather than Jersey Dudek, you were Loris Karius. I'm really sorry, mate. You fumbled it.
I did. And that's okay.
But we'll get into the housekeeping. As I said at the start, if you haven't shared this with a friend or family member who you think you like it, do that. If you've listened to us for a while, or even if it's your first time, give us a star rating 1 to 5 whatever you think we are worth. You give us that. You want to give us a written review, that's even better. And if you want more content through your week from us, we're all over the internet. highscoreshighstakes.com is the best place to get that. Andy, now's your opportunity to pitch to the listeners of High Scores, High Stakes, your podcast. Go on ahead, mate.
Thank you. So yes, I go by AndyGames_94, but I also host a podcast, Behind the Camera with AndyGames, which you can find on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, pretty much anywhere that you find podcasts. And also I am active on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram under the same handle, as well as my AndyGames_94 handles.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Go and give Andy a share everywhere you can find him. He's a good lad. Thank you very much, Andy, for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it, by the way.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity at Redemption, and I apologize I squandered it, but I had fun doing so.
Yeah, no, that's it. You're creeping up with Discount Josh in terms of podcast appearances now. So I think whoever can hit 5 appearances first is going to get some sort of commemorative mug, I think.
That's it. We'll have to hit up the old crew to see if we can get C-Ran on the next one. But with all of that being said, I have nothing left to say except I've been Mr Luvva Luvva. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. Thanks for listening. We'll see you Monday. Love y'all. Bye.